Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. Namaste. So I'm sort of sharing today about the Research Fellow Scheme at Kathmandu University School of Education, because we are receiving applications for MPhil and PhD programs, and this is there is an opportunity available for MPhil and PhD students. That's what I would like to say about. Okay, I would like to share about the Research Fellow Scheme at Kathmandu University School of Education. So this scheme is recently introduced. Actually, Research Fellow is a person registered for academic research and obtaining fellowship from the school or departments. The scheme is to promote the research activities in the school and departments, especially in the School of Education. The scheme does not only maintain a threshold, but also threshold of research active students, but also strengthens the graduate programs in the schools and departments. The fellow must be obtaining among the MPhil and PhD students and assigned a fee waiver scheme. So the scheme is applied to local and international students. So let me explain this a little further. So the objective of the scheme is to make competent resources available in the departments or the school, irrespective of the availability of research funding, expand the research activities of the school in the priority areas. So as far as these are the objectives and how outcomes, expected outcomes of this research fellow scheme is to establishment of a sustainable research environment, improvement in the strength of postgraduate program, and improvement in research grant applications, publications, and service to the university, expansion and sustainability of research activities. So the modality of the implementation as of now is there's one research fellow to one professor and associate professor. Each research degree, especially MPhil and PhD students, the fellow has to render 10 hours a week service, 10 hours per week service to the department, school, and university related activities under the supervision of the research mentor. Fee waiver for MPhil and PhD students, fee waiver for domestic, and fee waiver and accommodation. The cost of meals should be paid by the students in Dhulikhel and for international students. Especially the accommodation is available for international students as well, but the cost of meals and transportation should be bore by the international students. Selection by the research committee of the school as per the announcement made in the advertisement, merit, research idea, performance in the entrance test, and publication track records for PhD, merit, performance in the entrance test, and publication track records for MPhil, 6 fellowship for School of Education, fieldwork, lab, and transportation, local and international costs to bear by the fellows. So only fee waiver scheme for domestic students, and in return of that, they have to work 10 hours per week for the school. And the next is for international students, fee waiver plus accommodation, but the cost of meals should be paid by the students. And the accommodation is available in Dhulikhel right now. So they need to travel from Dhulikhel to Athila. So this is the modality of implementation of research fellow scheme. If we look into the departmental strengths, these are the departments implementing the research fellowship scheme. So educational leadership, they might focus on change leadership, school governance, instructional leadership, etc. and etc. Development education department focuses mostly on educational plans and policies, labor market and education, identity, education, youth and sustainability, so on and so forth. Language education, multilingualism, language policy, strategies of language teaching and learning, etc. STEAM education department focuses largely on STEAM pedagogy, critical maths and science education, transversal skills as pedagogy, integrated curriculum, teachers as curriculum developer, indigenous knowledge, science interface, wisdom traditions, and epistemological tolerance, etc., etc. So these are the areas of focus as far as departments are concerned. But the research fellow scheme is not separate from the application to PhD and MPhil program. So once you apply, you are considered for research fellow scheme. That would be decided on the basis of your entrance exam, your publication track record, and your availability to contribute to the department for 10 hours of week per week. So this is what I have to say. Thank you very much for your questions and queries on our research fellow scheme. Thank you once again. Thank you very much.